seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Complexities turn to bad. EGs turn to bad. Complexities turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
All right, welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here we go. Game number 3 coming at you. Evil Geniuses versus Complexity here. The Dota Pit League Season number 5 North American Qualifiers. Again, the winner of this will move on to the winner bracket finals. Loser goes down to the losers bracket. Only a 4-team event here. Team NP and Team Freedom. Again, the other 2 teams that we'll be playing on after this series wraps up here. But happy to be here. I'm Breaky CPK, joined by CC and C as my co-caster, and we had a change of pace there in game number 2 after Complexity, of course, took the first game. I think Evil Geniuses answered the call in that second game. And, you know, real quick, it's something I actually saw. EG tweeted this as they drafted the hero. We were so caught up with Brewmaster and how long it's been played and stuff. Apparently, Zai hasn't played Chen since 2014. So that was his first Chen game in over 2 years, and he actually did pretty damn well with it, I thought. So
yeah, he's been picking it in pubs a fair amount. I played a couple of games with him on Chen, and he played really well in those. So you know, he's also just like one of the best players in the world. Doesn't surprise me that he can play the hero.
I'm glad you said that, because, you know, if I said that, I feel like there'd be some bias, because, you know, people that know me, you know, I have a lot of history with a player like Zai, so, but it's good to hear others make that statement that obviously he's a great player, so. The draft underway. I noticed that Complexity banned Drow, so they ran into some trouble with the last game, and they don't want Evil Geniuses getting it, so.
Yeah, EG having the first pick, so I guess Complexity did ban it in the first game whenever EG had first picked that game as well. So Complexity not really willing to play against the Drow and get run over whenever they have the Drow, so maybe a little bit tainted for them.
EG's turn to ban.
There we go, the bannings now continuing, of course, of the picks happening. Mirana, and the Kunko and Oracle, and then the Leshrac. So, again, overall Complexity, like I said before, according to the stats, at least in Dota Buff, you know, in significant matches, they were 7-1 before last game with Leshrac. Now, obviously the loss right there, so 7-2 now. But I don't think that was a Leshrac failing game. That was just simply the EG coming online with their whole lineup so quickly. And just as a team, Complexity just got rolled over. So I'm still excited to see this Leshrac pick, because I haven't actually gotten to see it as a caster yet from that perspective. So I don't count last game.
The Leshrac was sort of a part of them losing that game, because the hero is quite weak in early levels. If there's a lot of heroes like Ogre, like Furion, that are very good at just running at you. You know, he obviously got caught out a couple of times. You know, I think getting 0-8 that game and sort of got run over. Like, once if the hero's behind, that's like a big weakness of the hero. He works a lot like Disruptor in that regard. If he's ahead, he can be very good, does a lot of damage, has a lot of utility. But if he's behind, doesn't really do that much. It's very easy to kill, no escape mechanism, nothing. So
yeah. Absolutely. Well, we'll see what game it is for. Again, Melon's here, most likely playing the Leshrac. I know that Ibu has actually ran it for them too, so yeah, curious to see who it actually ends up on for them. But again, the Mirana picked to go with that. Again, the Oracle Kunk on the side of Evil Geniuses. Bans to follow. It was a Shadow Demon Storm Spirit coming out for Evil Geniuses, and then a Juggernaut Lifestealer taken out by complexity, so somewhat carry heavy there. Other than the Shadow Demon ban. What do you think of those Shadow Demon nerfs? Does Shadow Demon need more nerfs, you feel like? He's been getting hit quite a bit with these nerf bats lately.
No, I don't think that hero needs any more nerfs. He's not many teams first pick him anymore. There's sort of been other supports that have been rising to popularity. The Kunkka's still very popular. Oracle, of course, the Warlock, like massively popular nowadays. Teams that have a Wisp player prioritize that hero. So Shadow Demon's sort of fallen out of favor. Don't really think he's OP anymore. Only good in certain combinations with like Luna, Morphling, heroes like that. So. Not necessarily, a bad hero, still very good, but I think at the point where he's at a good state.
I love this pick. Complexity going Nature's Prophet. Hey, it worked for them. Let's play that hero, guys. I doubt it didn't go like that, but yeah.
They're trying to style on him.
But seriously, like, where do you think this is coming from? Because yeah, this is a little bit different of a line. I mean. Is this maybe them reacting to last game?
I'm not sure. Like, Moo in the past has played Nature's Prophet a decent amount. It's one of the heroes he plays the most, I think, back when Nature's Prophet was a good hero. But in this game, their strat doesn't really like work near as well like with around Nature's Prophet as EG's did. Mirana not a hero that's typically known for being super good at like very early skirmishes taking towers. The Lesh is good at that. So yeah, the Nature's Prophet and the Lesh have some synergy, but EG taking the axe immediately afterward. So have a lot like, the axe being a very good hero versus the Nature's Prophets, can lane super well versus them, so the axe getting a very quick blink. You can catch them whenever they're pushing into your towers. So I'm not sure how the Nature's Prophet is going to do this game compared to last game.
Yeah, it seemed like the overall idea made a lot of sense. You were talking about the matchup of the Drow especially. It made a lot of sense for that. But yeah, this game, it seems almost a little out of place perhaps. But obviously, yeah, we'll see how Moo plays it. Again, the fantastic player that he is this time around. They go with OD on top of that here for complexity. So probably going to end up with cancel, of course, with the OD pick up here. It's, fourth pick OD. I think that's always kind of a satisfying pick to get it there. He did get those nerfs recently with the attack damage, I believe it was. So is he still considered to be one of the stronger mids, though?
Yeah, he's definitely more situational now, making him a lot weaker in the lane, those nerfs, so OD, not a great hero. Like a lot of other strong heroes this patch, they're very good when they're ahead, but sort of mediocre when they're behind. OD tends to be the same way. Not amazing when he's behind, can't really go in and get a lot of those arcane orb stacks up, gets focused down pretty easily as he doesn't have great armor and doesn't build armor items. Can get right click down a lot, but very good versus the Oracle because the Oracle keeps people alive for long periods of time, so you can build up the arcane stacks. Good versus Kunkka as you can save people. And pretty good versus the Axe as well. Here with low mana, you can save whoever he calls, or Astral the Axe, so the spins don't go off. So overall, just a pretty good pick here, and also complexity needed some sort of setup, some sort of a little bit of catch, and the OD sort of supplies that. You can do the Astral into Arrow, Astral into Lesh Stun. Makes it pretty hard for Sumail to play this mid lane as they have a lot of kill potential with heroes roaming in.
Yeah. Putting a lot of thought into this fourth pick here is Evil Geniuses. You figure they probably have their 4 and 5 roles here with the Oracle and the Kunkka. I mean, a Kunkka 2 is not out of the question, but could you see Sumail playing the Kunkka, or is that probably more of the 4 here?
I don't think Sumail plays Kunkka. I also don't think Kunkka mid is very good.
Okay.
Especially, I don't know, it's sort of a weird hero, and from my experience, yeah, there's the Sumail puck. Yeah, it's just not really a Sumail hero. I haven't seen him play it in pubs at all. I don't think EG values that hero as a mid hero. I believe Crit plays that hero most of the time. Maybe no, actually, I mean Crit or Zai. I think they alternate depending on what the other hero is.
10 seconds remaining.
It was more comfortable with the other. So now it feels like complexity side. Yeah, Cancel I know is known for playing some mid Kunkka, despite what you think. He's done it before, but
yeah.
All right, final pick to come here, though. Yeah, they did get the Puck in the end. Is Puck a good matchup against OD?
Yeah, he is. The Silence is nice versus OD. He's a hero that, in the mid-game, OD really has no way at all to kill. And if you look at Complexity's heroes, they have no instant disables, a lot of spells that take a long time to land. So, also a hero that is very difficult to kill with the OD bottom combo, so you have to time the arrow perfectly to where the arrow is inside of the Astro whenever you come out. Otherwise, the puck can dodge the arrows. And in the mid game, you know, good versus a lot of their heroes. The puck, good versus the bottom, good versus the Leshrac. Just a lot of heroes that are very squishy and burstable. So
Yeah.
puck can do something verse. And the Arteezy Animage, a classic.
Classic here. So Animage, yeah, the final pick. I mean, overall, seems like he has potential to land some pretty big ultimates with that mana void of his as well in this game. So kind of almost makes sense here with this final pick, kind of the 4-1 strategy coming out from Evil Geniuses. Build a very active lineup around the Anti-Mage, and they most certainly have that. Templar
Oh,
Assassin.
it's OD safe lane. Okay.
Interesting. I mean, I haven't been here long, but I personally have not seen an OD safe lane. It's always been mid. How rare is this?
It's pretty rare. Some teams have been tinkering with it. He's a hero that can do well if you don't have a lot of heroes that are very good at pressuring the off lane, and I find it unlikely that EG will aggro try with this lineup. They may try and put the axe against the Nature's Prophet, but I'm not sure. They have a lot of kill potential versus the Nature's Prophet with their tri lane. Animage, Kunkka, Oracle. He can't really go up towards that, gets X, gets torrented, the Oracle roots, mana burn down, so I think the axe may play in the jungle early on, try and get a quick blink dagger there, and the OD be free to farm, so it should be okay, OD safe lane game.
Yeah. Oh, quite a change up right there. It also makes you kind of wonder if complexity, if that was planned or if that was a very reaction, you know, perhaps final pick maybe. Again, the puck came out and then eventually the anti-mage. Do you think that might have been part of it where they saw that and maybe they wanted a better matchup perhaps, or?
Yeah, I do think it was reactionary. Seeing the Animage, they didn't really have many answers for it, no real ways to kill him, and so their response to that is just pick a hero that does a whole lot of brute force damage. TA known for being quite good against the Animage until he gets to the Manta. Once the Animage gets to the Manta, TA has some serious problems as you run out of mana and then have no stuff for your refraction. But I sort of worry for the TA this game. Axe known for being quite good against the TA. And Kunkka, one of the best heroes in the game versus TA, as you get the buff on your teammates, become really, really tanky. So the TA can't burst heroes as easily, and the Torrent, because it's 10 separate ticks, every single time you cast Torrent, it burns refraction completely. So it can be very easy to gank this TA, and if Puck can get some levels, maybe get TA a little low in the lane, they can maybe go for a kill when Kunkka rotates in early on.
Very interesting right there. So yeah, TA. Going to be feeling a bit of that pain, perhaps, throughout this game. But Zai, again, playing the Kunkka. Setting up to be a good follow-up game to, obviously, a fantastic Chen game he had last time around, which apparently he hasn't played in a while, at least in a tournament match. But did so just fine. So the Bounty Rune control coming out. The Zai gets their own. Templar Assassin, of course, for complexity, and then Puck or EG. The early vision on either side, just that mid ward from complexity as far as EG goes. They got one in the jungle down here. But they are going to be giving up the bottom lane completely.
Yep, it's not really a lane where the Axe can thrive. They have the Astral into the left stun, and then he'll get right-click down. And in a game like this, where Axe is your primary initiator, you need him to have a good start. So putting him into the jungle early on, getting a pool tangle as well. So, wait, what the heck? Oh, the courier got side-bladed, I think.
What is that about? Oh boy. Well, that's a little unfortunate. That's a courier dead for what? Another just under 2 minutes here for EG. How big of a deal is that? I mean, is that going to really set Puck behind? Is that going to hurt or what?
I mean, it's not so much as going to set Puck behind, but he gives TA gold, and Sumail is very good at this matchup. He actually thinks Puck wins this matchup, but the Puck plays very pristinely, and is actually doing super well early on, but that courier dying actually gives Cancel enough gold to buy another salve. Sumo goes 2-2-0 and pressures really early on, and then tries to go for a kill at a reasonable early stage, but the TA getting that gold from the courier kill, able to get a second salve, so Sumail not really in the place where he wants to be. This matchup is very finesse-based, and that courier dying cost him quite heavily.
That arrow almost connected to Sumail. He just happened to be in front of it. I don't even know if that was on purpose or if that simply was just happened to be coincidence. But he's dodged the arrow nonetheless and able to survive. Meanwhile, though, middle lane, you see the flank coming in. Oh, well, maybe not, actually. Crick kind of just running on through. He's going to take a good amount of damage, actually. Is he going to be feeding first blood here? Oh, my God. He ends up going down right there. Templar Assassin, though. But what caused situation for him, he is going to be turn killed a 1-for-1. And now Z-Freak gonna run it off, could not chase down Zai right there, but that almost seemed awkward from Crit right there, kind of just running on through as if nothing was happening.
Yeah, a little bit of a misstep, getting aired by Z-Freak, so nice placement of that air to make sure he can't dodge out of the way of it. And now it's they do get the return kill on the TA, so they do get their blood, and I think TA got it, right? Yeah, so
Yes.
he got the bottle. If he hadn't got that, it actually wouldn't have been that bad of a trade for EG, as Smell would have had the bottle, and TA not. But with the trade, things sort of go back to square one mid. The TA is going to farm, the puck is going to farm, and you know, things are just sort of going to chill. But looks like Potom's going to go for another arrow maybe, or just zone.
Yeah, here to kind of be the zone. He leaps in. He does have that arrow. Kind of canceling it. Obviously, again, phase shift ready to go here as well. So he's not even going to risk it. Top lane, I saw Pink was rotating over. That would be Crit there on the Oracle, but Wu has already fallen back, and now he's doing a bit of jungling himself. So unable to get any kind of presence on him, and really means both short lane farmers are having basically free farm right here. OD, of course, being played by Jake here at the bottom lane, and then RTZ, obviously, on the anti-mage at that top side. So who's going to win the free farm advantage? I mean, obviously, anti-mage is very scary, but he needs a little bit of time to take off compared to OD, especially. You think complexity, that's going to favor them here?
They're definitely gonna need to try and take advantage of that timing where the OD is strong and the anti-mage is weak. I think a lot of it comes down to how Axe does in this jungle. He has had pretty decent cap spawns, so level 5 already at 3.5 minutes, almost the Tranquil Boots. So if he can get a quick blink dagger, they make stuff happen with the, oh my goodness.
I just don't get it. That was so aggressive right there. I don't know what the game plan was. He was just late on the illusory orb, and he just got bursted. He also got trapped a little bit by the creep wave, but yeah, that felt like a bit of a misplay from Samel, which is so rare to say, I feel like.
Yeah, this whole series, Samel has felt a little bit off. Almost all 3 games, dying really early on. 2 of them solo kills, and 1 of them just staying a little too long. You know, slightly misreading the lane, and not to take anything from Samel, one of the best mid players in the world, but maybe just having an off day or an off series. Sort of quite a few early deaths that can be pretty costly, especially on heroes like before the Brewmaster, although it not turning out to be that bad in that game, and the puck.
Here, let's see how much debate we can get in Twitch chat. Or is it maybe that cancels the better player?
Maybe.
Oh, you see what I did there? Huh? Okay. Chat's gonna love that one.
Cancel subs, forehead?
Oh boy. So what have I done? No, yeah, Samel does seem like it has been a little bit off. But yeah, no. With that, it's on the other side of the spectrum. Again, cancel. Obviously, he's had a great series overall, even in the losing effort last game. His puck game last game was actually up to a very good start, as we mentioned, only to fall short, obviously, with how it all played out. But right now, look at that bottom. Oh no, the tower's still here. What am I saying? They're all behind the tower. I thought they heard already pushed it in for a second, but no, they're just simply kind of creep skipping here and going beyond. They do have Swindle, pops that Diabolic Edict here, and probably gonna get this early tower kill. No fortification. Meanwhile, top lane, Moo goes down. Kunkka and Anti-Mage, enough damage to get the job done there. Did you catch that by chance? I unfortunately did not.
No, I would assume he just hit the blind torrent as Zai's actually going the more damage-orienting build, getting the Tidebringer as Complexity has a lot of push. They have the Tree Ants, you know, the Lestrak, a lot of squishy heroes that if he does get like an early phase boots, the Tidebringer can be pretty good, getting some good splash damage for them. So not getting the X, just hitting the blind torrent. You know, who needs X if you're just good enough to hit the torrents on your own?
Yeah, and that meanwhile, now that was Samel. Actually, he played that fairly well, attempting to get away, but that was honestly just good play by Complexity as a team right there. And they're also going to be able to take out Crit, it looks like. Maybe, oh, the leap was awkward. The arrow, oh, it's going to miss. Crit will dodge around the tree and survive. So at least Oracle survives in the end, but yeah, that was Samel again getting chased back. The illusory orb cooldown not up just yet. And
yeah,
using the time.
Cancel trying to get a little fancy, trying to sideblade off of one of the Tree Ants that was low onto the Oracle, but the Tree Ants weren't actually below half HP, so he sort of like canceled his attack animation, and wasn't able to get in range for the right click.
That's an advantage of having a Leshrac as that support role. He is going to be dunked. That's not the advantage. He ends up falling right there. But again, he can do plenty of damage himself, especially if he catches somebody by themselves, kind of like Crit was right there. So he gets the kill, but he ends up feeding a kill to Universe, which arguably, and I don't even think that's arguable, EG actually coming out on top there. In fact, here comes the smoke now. And they're roaming on through. They're going to try to catch somebody, maybe wrap around the middle here for the TA.
Yeah, TA is a hero that really doesn't like getting killed early on, a hero that's terrible from behind, especially versus heroes like Kunkka and Axe that can get on top of her and kill her, so... the coil up, looks like they're going to coil now and maybe get 2 kills here as Swindle's in the lane.
Yeah, they're going in, but the flank coming from behind. Now Swindle he did not get actually Berserker called right there, but it's still enough damage to secure the kill as the Culling Blade comes out. Cancel, meanwhile, the refraction tanky ain't tanky enough. Another Culling Blade, and down it goes Templar Assassin. A 2 for nothing. You see how low several people got, including the Puck actually, near death. Mel this time actually does escape. Again, good job by the team getting there in time. That just happened to be the wrong time to go in by complexity, but you could say probably good bait from Puck. But really forced them in.
Yeah, really nice rotation. Samel playing really aggressive, baiting them in, and getting those turnaround kills, pretty huge. And that's sort of the thing about this Puck versus TA matchup. A lot of times, I think it's super TA favored, but there is a window where the TA doesn't have Blink Dagger, she doesn't have a lot of her core items, and she's forced to just sit in this lane and farm, or at least in this general vicinity. And the Puck has coil, Puck has a lot of kill potential, and you can rotate heroes in and get kills, and that's what happened there.
Yeah.
So, you know, sort of making up for that lackluster, you know, first couple of minutes. The TA is still ahead, but a nice start to the recovery.
Now, I'm not going to act like I'm a Nature's Prophet expert by any means. As Samel, by the way, middle lane, he should be fine here. I've said that before, though. Yeah, he is good. But it seems like he's a hero that is potentially, we kind of saw last game, that's going to be teleporting fairly earlier on, you know, shortly after 6 and setting up kills. Do you think Moose should be looking to be more active now, or is understandably as it maybe been just in his Puck? Well, nice combo right there, and it is going to be enough for the kill. They put him under with the imprisonment. Here comes the shift, though. Does catch Templar, but he is fine. Despite being locked in place, they just did not have the fallout. Speaking of that teleport, Moose like, I got you, Breaky, don't worry. However, it's not going to get a kill, as they're just a little too far back, but they'll just go over the tower instead. Right
yeah,
here,
this Tidebringer build from CIS is actually doing some massive work. The tree ants are a really nice source to be able to get the Tidebringer hits off, and like I said before, you did get the early phase boots, so doing a whole lot of damage with that. The Lesh of the bottom timed their stuns really nicely, expecting Smell to press the phase shift directly out of the Astral, and he did, so timing it slightly later than normal, getting the stuns on him.
Oh, Swindles, is he trying to get himself killed? No, he's actually trying to farm over here, but yeah, he's going to pour it out as they die. I saw the supports coming over to maybe find him, but unable to do so. But yeah, you mentioned the level 3 Tidebringer here. Kunkka going to sit behind Puck for the time being. Looks like Puck, by the way, well, I guess it doesn't necessarily mean he's doing that, but he does have the double null talisman here for the eventual Veil of Discord. But do you think we're going to see that Blink Dagger from Puck first, though?
I'm not sure. The Axe does already have his Blink Dagger, so he may actually go for the Veil first in this game, as he doesn't need to be the primary initiator. They have someone else that can get active super early on, and we go Veil for the more burst damage. The Oracle having, you know, his nukes obviously benefiting a lot with Veil, as well as the Kunkka spells. So may actually go for the Veil in this game. Not really sure. You'd like to have the Veil a little bit earlier, but rotating down to this bottom line, they may actually get this tower, or put some pressure, force some TPs maybe.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Complexity does with this. I mean, they have the 2-tower advantage already. They are kind of pushing top with Leshrac as well as Nature's Prophet up here. So maybe they're just going to be content on trading this, if anything, as they are putting that pressure on now. So yeah, see reactions from either team. I mean, Fortification is ready to use. I believe somebody, no, nobody's putting up there. OD goes down meanwhile in the jungle. Looks like he just simply got caught by the roaming Axe and that Kunkka. They're going to be found by Mirana though, but she's just simply walking away. She popped her ultimate, trying to save OD, it looks like, but not in time. So the towers, meanwhile, they are going to be exchanged in the end, as well as an OD going down to top it all off. I kind of almost forgot OD was in this game, especially being in the short lane. Not gonna lie, but how is he doing? Seems like he's doing all right, actually. Yeah, up there.
Yeah, he's quite farmed. Has the drums, has the force staff, so building into some of his core items, maybe looking to get more active in the upcoming future. Died there, unfortunately. Had used his Astral to farm creeps, and so had that on cooldown, no way to defend himself, didn't have the force staff picked up from base yet, and able to get the call leading into the boat with no save in the Astral.
Swindle, he's just simply running, but that battle hunger gonna help chase him down. Pops everything he has, hoping to maybe even get a turn kill out of this, but that mana voice due to work. But here comes the supporting cast just in time. The forward step forward from JK, the tree wraparound on a crit over here in the background. He's gonna try to heal up, ain't gonna be enough though. So they do get the pick on Oracle as well as Axe prior to that. And it was only for the Leshrac Death who is playing that main support here. So they're just satisfied with that, and now Complexity gonna go even further. This is probably going to be another tower kill. The 4th tower kill of the game already. For coL.
Yeah.
I mean, is this really a push-heavy team that should be doing this?
Yeah, they're sort of doing what EG did last game, trying to pull that strat off, but things are looking quite a bit better for EG than they were for Complexity last game, as they do have this anti-mage, who almost has the Battle Fury, so he's going to be, starting to cut waves, put pressure on the map, and if he gets some items, Complexity really has no way to deal with him. So they are on very much of a timer, whereas EG, they had some late game assurance in the last game on the Weaver, but this OD and TA will definitely get outclassed by the Anti-Mage in the late game. So they need to sustain this gold lead, keep the Anti-Mage as far down as they can so they can keep their items at a level to where this Anti-Mage can't really go to fights, has to continue splitting, and needs a whole lot of items to go to fights.
Anti-Mage will pour it out, pushing that bottom lane. If he kept going, that could have been trouble for him. So yeah, he'll go top, successfully get the farm up here. A little bit easier for him. Meanwhile, the rest of his team, EG, they're trying to roam as you would expect here. Again, that 4-1 strategy. Axe, meanwhile, finds himself jungling a little bit more, trying to finish that blade mill, I'm sure. It's going to be a key item, as it tends to be, on the Axe here. Speaking of smoke, Complexity going to do a bit of their own as they head towards that middle lane now. A lot of pings coming out towards it. Sentry placed by Krither. It's going to go in the uphill over here. Going to be spotted by Zydo. At least spots the Leshrac coming out. The rest know they could be in trouble. Puck, he's still sticking around. He gets the silence off, uses the illusory aura, but he's going to be chased down by a cancel. And Puck will eventually be killed there. So yeah, he hung around a little bit too long. He really wanted that tower. That just wasn't going to happen, though, so the greed is real for Sumail. Now 1-4-3 this game. Again, not the prettiest game for him, so Complexity, they're keeping the activity up, and that's to their benefit. In fact, the trap hits crit right there, and that's a 3-shot, essentially, to follow.
Yeah, Complexity is getting to play the style they want to. They drafted heroes to fit into that style, had the early game they needed. Sumail getting a little too far behind in the early game, and now playing their timings perfectly, taking all these outer tier 2 towers. Furion is typically known for being very, very good at taking the tier 1 towers to get port early on, but quite often has trouble taking the tier 2s as people start getting blink daggers up. They have more damage and ways to jump you before you get there, but with these pickoffs, actually able to get the tier 2 towers down, which is one of Furion's weak spots. And with that, they're going to have a lot of map control. It's going to make it harder and harder for this Anti-Mage to split and farm the waves. This Nature's Prophet almost as an Orchid as well. So building into something that will help control this Anti-Mage maybe before he gets to Manta style.
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up. So it sounds like that you agree with this, the Orchid choice here on Nature's Prophet as far as his earlier first core item.
Yeah, it's definitely good. It can threaten kills in the Anti-Mage until he has Manta. And even once he has Manta, a nice thing about it is that it sort of forces the Anti-Mage to hold the Manta in fights until he gets Orchided, so it can keep the Anti-Mage from getting off some offensive potential. And it's also just a nice item on Nature's Prophet. Good versus the Oracle, good versus the Kunkka. A lot of these supports that need their spells to keep themselves and other heroes alive. So overall, just a good pickup. And also, gives the Furion some nice damage as he scales later to this game to be more of a right clicker.
Yeah. See, Moo up here, just having a fun time in the jungle. Again, getting just about there to the Orchid. Needs that third Oblivion staff to be coming. And then, as that picked up, Arteezy, meanwhile, finds Treants here in the jungle and going to farm what he can of it. Obviously, he has that Battle Fury, the headdress on him. Like the Vlads to follow. Sumail wants this room, but it's going to come at a cost if he wants it for sure. He is going to port it out with the illusory aura, but you see the teleportation from Moo. Does not cut him off, the trap, everything being used. They really want to chase down this Puck. Already killed him 4 times, one and a 5th time, they say. And another illusory orb, though, he ports quickly. He'll be fine, well played.
What a dope juke. He stopped really early because they knew they would look further. That was really nice.
And now the chase actually is they do catch Oracle over here. A little bit of lag on my side, but Oracle will be picked off right there. the rest do get out. Getting a little
Yeah,
choppy on my side, I do apologize.
It's actually not that bad for EG. Made quite a bit of space, killing that mid wave. So Complexity not really able to get anything off of that. The only tier 2 left is this bottom one, and that lane's jumped out super far. So the TA almost deso, so they may actually try and break the high ground pretty soon, trying to get the Roshan, close out this game as Complexity's strongest timing is coming up very soon with this TA deso. So
Yeah.
TZ needs to continue to keep up this pace of farm and try and get to his Manta as fast as possible. So he does have the Yasha already.
Looks like we should be good now. Again, apologize for that, guys. Just a very slight hiccup there. Not sure what that was about, but should be good for now. So we are back in 17.5 minutes though. Complexity. This is game 3. Obviously, this is of a best of 3. So winner of this moving on here in the winners bracket to face the winner of NP versus Freedom. The loser is still in it in that losers bracket portion, but. Oh, the courier? Is that dead? Yeah.
Has been killed.
Get it picked off. Luckily for EG, the item was already picked up on it, but picks off the courier though. Nice little snipe by them.
Yeah, with our TZ,
yeah.
oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
With our TZ porting out of that lane, Aegis Prophet comes down there and starts pushing it out. So it's like they may try and get on this or get down that bottom tower, but with the Marana dying or getting very low.
Wow. That was a well played by him. He actually managed to escape that right there. Puck is silenced now, and he is probably Oracle. False Promise comes out at the last second. Now Oracle will fall shortly after. And Puck is going to manage to get away the phase shift. Yep, it will be enough to make the escape. Marana, meanwhile, up top here, does get picked up. Animage looks like the Mana Void used to take her out. So ends up being a 1-for-1 throughout it. Keeping Puck alive.
Yeah, they're just continuing to try and split the map, get our TZ as much farm as possible. Only 2k or only 1k from the Manta now, so getting close to the stage with the anti-mage can maybe threaten some pickoffs a little easier, come to these fights if they absolutely need to. And the Puck has the blink now, so he'll start getting to that point where he can bail and then just instigate all the Furian's trees. So a little bit harder for Complexity to group up for a push.
Yeah, trying for the Roshan here in the meantime, but obviously EG is not giving it up for free. They are sticking around the imprisonment on the Samil there. He'll throw out the illusory orb just to kind of scout out Cancel. Meanwhile, he's stealthing in. He's going to find the jump. He does on it. Oracle in the background gets the quick kill. So no false promise. So he was going to be good for him, but at what cost? TXC. Oh, nice. Put himself under by OD right there as a shift game flashes through. They do pick off Puck to the side. Kunkka gets taken out. And a triple kill for Cancel, actually. He was just wrecking pace throughout that. Reminders of game number 1. That was a victory, of course, for Complexity. And now Roshan is going to be finished, and that's an Aegis for OD, it looks like.
Yeah, speaking of Justin, there was actually a really small, nice play that people do as OD versus Axe, where you don't put your Q on autocast, even if you have enough mana to do so, because it'll trigger whenever you're called, and so you'll just kill yourself in the blade mail, but making sure you didn't have that on. Universe calling him and hoping he had it on autocast, but not, so actually living there, and Universe sort of stranded in the middle of nowhere, hoping he didn't have that, hoping he had it on autocast to kill, but nice play that not many people do.
Yeah. They see pick off Leshrac, meanwhile, almost got Trian actually, but, or an Aegis Prophet, excuse me, not the Trian. He ports out in time though, and Zfree gonna be the same story, nice little juke from him as he leaps away. Again, so minimal damage, minimal casualties really coming out for Complexity there as they fall back in time. But Animage, he does continue to be the top farmer in the game on that net worth at least, understandably so, just over 13,000 gold. 13.5 about, has that battle period to go with the Yasha as well, the Ultimate Orb, so that mana style is coming. Talked about the Orchid though for Nature's Prophet, going to be good against that, and sure enough, it is finished, of course. On to Mu right here. Is he going top? No, just scouting up there. Oh, they're going middle, that's what they're going. They're going to chase down a couple here. Crit is caught, and a couple of auto attacks from Cancel, and that'll do him in. So they get the easy kill instead, and Sumail was picked off. Over to the behind, it looks like, in the flank. What is going on? Now they're pushing. Sumail does not have a buyback, by the way, on Puck.
Yeah, this is most probably going to be a set of racks. They're going to try and hold with the X boat or TZ made TV back, or just keep split pushing. It looks like he's committing to the split push, but the racks is most definitely going to go down. Cancel 5 charges still left in their fractures, so no real way for them to take him down right now.
Yeah, he's just tanking it like a boss. You see the imprisonment Catching right there onto Axis, who's kind of running in, so the easy melee Axe kill, and they'll just easily fall back. Meanwhile, top lane looks like they want to maybe catch the anti-mage if they can, but as we see, that's not going to happen. Good job porting or getting away, blinking away in time even before getting caught there. Does have the Basher now picked up onto the anti-mage as well. So the anti-mage progression still working, but yeah, losing a Rax there, not good news for EG, despite how well the anti-mage is doing here.
Yeah, this I think this Puck's item progression is the biggest worry for EG. You know, obviously besides the Rax being down, is only the Blink Veil at 22 minutes, 7k net worth, really not where you want to be as a Puck. You need to at least keep your farm at a reasonable amount, but all these deaths just getting constantly picked off by Complexity's nice maneuvers, and Samel just really not having the type of game that we typically see from him.
OD gonna get back as well, so all of them getting away, they saw something coming, they see the smoke in some way, and sure enough, everybody gets back of Complexity before anyone gets caught. So that smoke essentially wasted there, although, valiant effort from EG, of course, but Complexity just outplaying them there in a sense. And now you see the TA, that 10-second BKB ready to go. Who's over here? Oh yeah, spam ping, and they caught the anti-mage. The arrow coming out not in time though. He did it just a little early. And actually, anti-mage gonna be able to blink away right there. And it keeps blinking further. 2 surviving.
Oh,
that was close. He catches him. Who knows what can happen after that? But he hasn't died yet, right? Yeah, Arteezy is 0 deaths, so would have been big.
He is EG's glimmering hope right now. Probably going to go for that Abyssal and try and blow up his TA or OD at the beginning of the fights. And Complexity really doesn't have any defensive spells, so if he does get that Abyssal and it's able to get onto one of the big mana-heavy cores, like the OD, maybe he can blow him up and get a huge mana boy, get some collateral kills, maybe take the fight from there, but still a decent amount away, and Complexity is down to go finish the game right now with the Aegis and now the BKB on TA.
Torn coming out, nice little dodge there from Cancel though, throwing out some traps in the background. Extra harassment provided. You see over here, OD jumps in actually onto Axe. They kicked it before. TA pulls it up, and Axe is going to fall in the background. Splitter hits a couple. Meanwhile, Arteezy jumped in. They do take out OD. They also get the kill on a Leshrac. OD though coming back up with the revival of the Aegis right there. However, a lot of damage from Arteezy as he's back up. Puts himself under. Meanwhile, Jumper Assassin in the background got picked, and down goes OD as well. I believe that was a buyback. Yeah, it was on Axe right there.
Bash.
Oh. They got moved, the Bash comes out, and it gets the kill. Those Bashes, man.
And as I say that, I praise Justin for not having his Q on autocast. In that last fight, he did have his Q on autocast, killed himself, and then respawning and getting caught. So actually, kind of costing them that fight is the OD dying, and then he did it at a very bad time, as while he was respawning, the TA's BKB was ticking down, so wasn't able to fight with the TA's BKB and sort of messed all their fight timings up. So a pretty costly mistake, and now the anti-mage up to that Abyssal Blade almost. The Axe did have to buy back, so it's not all bad for Complexity, but definitely a favorable fight for EG.
Yeah, you gotta wonder too, Complexity, did they dive a little bit too much? I mean, they really dove on that Axe initially, especially TA in the background. That kind of split him up from the rest of the fight. You see Leshrac, meanwhile, just gets picked off as the support comes in with the anti-mage, and no chance for him to survive through that one. Now, eventually will be enough to kind of stall him from going further. Pick off some ancients, and now look at Arteezy, man. He was already looking so good. Now he's at 18,000 gold net worth here. After that, another 4,000 gold just about saved up to go with the Basher.
That was a 6k gold net worth drop.
Oh wow, yeah. 10,000 to 4,000. Jeez, and the experience is well in their favor. Of course, kind of has been for a good amount of this game for EG. A lot of the split, especially with the anti-mage, soaking up so much of it as he does. But he's going to choose to purchase the BKB here. And yeah, it seems like a pretty relevant item this game here. So
yeah, BKB on most cores is absolutely essential versus OD. The hero does practically no damage while you're BKB'd, so he has 10 seconds of really the only hero that's going to do damage to being the TA, but TA, as the game goes later and later, becomes progressively worse and worse versus anti-mages. He pops Manta and just sort of decimates you, can always solo kill you during the game once he has Abyssal and some attack speed items, like the Butterfly, etc. Yeah. So if he does get to that Abyssal Butterfly stage, he will be extremely strong, as TA is going crit as well, so not going to have this MKB anytime soon, and the OD, a hero that almost never buys, MKBs, so can get to those crucial items, then he will be in a very good position.
On the catch image here, the stun follow-up, the arrow hits as well, but there's just too much support nearby, and it's a little too deep right there. So they finally land a combo on him, only to come up short. Now Puck is in pursuit, though. Lusory Orb, he has that haster, that's why he's so fast, obviously. Leshrac, he just takes the Dream Coil stun immediately. And that was actually the correct decision at the end from Mel's. In fact, TA now returning the 2-shot on a crit right there. He says, crit this bitch. Takes out Puck as well. And now Zai all of a sudden on the run with 2 players dead. It's going to be a 3rd kill. I think that's an example of overextension right there.
Yeah, they definitely went way too far for that kill, costing them 3. Mel with no buyback. Zai does have buyback, and the Oracle no buyback as well. So only 1 buyback. And Anti-Mage, not really a hero that can jump into this lineup without a team backing him up. It actually cost him a 2nd set of racks and possibly the game.
Wow, that's something that happened right there. But Axe is going to jump in. The ship coming out in the background, but it looks like TA or the target initially is going to be fine through out of refraction, doing some work, but he gets locked down now by the Bastions. The splitter is not going to be enough, and down goes that TA, spamming that gem as he dies. Going to be picked up in the background by EG. They don't need their full team. They got it with just Arteezy as well as Universe and Zai. And they do clean up, actually. They push them out, a 2-kill advantage for them in that fight, and the rest just poured it out. But, well, even with the no buybacks on 2 different heroes, Puck and Oracle, they still hold so easily. And, I mean, that wasn't even, like, overextension, I felt like. That was just simply the initiation.
Yeah, so Swindle was a little bit out of position, was standing like way up in the base, got jumped on by the Anti-Mage, bursted, and then the Mana Void sort of chipped everyone down a little bit lower. Was able to get a lucky bash on the TA, and then into the Torrent, and getting a couple of cleanup kills. And Roshan actually just spawned, so they look for a fight and then lead into that Roshan would be huge.
Oh, double damage Chrysalis Conka. Meanwhile over here, Battle Hunger on a Swindle. He's gonna run. Axe in pursuit, has that Blink Dagger up in 5 seconds. Throws in a nice splitter though. Did not catch Arteezy, however. And Leshrac, just a matter of time before the inevitable happens. Nice arrow on the Anti-Mage. So actually, it's going to keep him alive a little bit longer here. Are you kidding me? There's the mech use. How is he still alive? That's just absurd. Finally goes down. Anti-Mage is like, I'm tired of this. Pops the Mana Void. And actually secures the kill.
Universe with that missed call on him initially when he was in the mid lane. Swindle taking a weird sidestep to the left. Universe not expecting it. Actually maybe it cost them the Roche. They had to chase that kill for so long that everybody respawned. So, you know, in the end, you know, it's a kill, it's nice, but maybe he could have gotten the Roche on if they had hit that initial call.
I see complexity in that area, and I'm probably not going to be attempting it themselves right here, but yeah, going to get that information at least. In case it is to happen. Mirana does have the Axe finish, but again, Z-Freak has definitely been a little bit behind this game, coming up to the 30-minute mark. Sure is playing that 4 role, but probably would have liked to have it a little sooner, but at least has it now, and the possible Blink Dagger to come eventually. What did I just see picked? Oh yeah, it was Nature's Prophet actually, got a full Hurricane Pike here. The follow-up. Yeah. You like that?
I mean, it's you know, it's a pretty good item on Nature's Prophet. You like to get a 4-staff, you need some kind of ability item on the hero and the Dragonlance. So the Hurricane Pike helps him scale a little bit better as a right-clicker. But in this game, with an Anti-Mage who's going to have the Abyssal Student almost as the Butterfly, Furion, this is the weakest part of his game. He really just doesn't do anything anymore. He's past that point where they can snowball the base because they have so much initiation. Doesn't really right-click that hard, so he's sort of his biggest use right now is maybe, you know, catching people with the Sprout on the sides, you know, orchiding some cores, with the Puck having the Yules now as well. The Orchid not very useful versus him, and so the Furion's sort of at his lowest point of usefulness.
Obviously attempted Roshan there a little bit was EG, but complexity nearby, spotting it out. Leshrac, oh, Arteezy blinking in, but this is an invis for Rana. They put him under right there. The stun, though, was used as well. The greatest communication. The arrow does connect, but yeah, the rest are just simply running here from complexity, so at least nobody gets picked. That's the good news. And you see the top lane, the pressure coming from the tree. It's a tower, yes. They will get the tower. I mean, that's a fairly significant tower. They don't have to worry about that now.
Yeah, complexity actually beelining for the Roshan. It's already pretty low from EG. They have a very small timing they can take this, and they're trying to, but looks like they're sort of chickening out, having conflicting ideas. Justin flying a little farther back.
Yeah.
Call.
That's where it's tough. He gets put under, though. Going to be fighting down. Nice job. Force tapping away, as well as the phase shift from Puck right there, too. Avoid that arrow, man. This Roshan, who's gonna get it? RTZ trying to finish it off. Wilts again. Oh, and he stole it. OD takes it away from him, puts him under as well. Will this be enough in the long run? Universe, the slam dunk to take out OD. Force the agency right away by TA. The fast procs are real. They're coming out. He's gonna build right there. B5 for the timing. Goes out with Chris himself. Axe is gonna die. And now in the midst of though, you do see Animage doing plenty of damage on OD on the uphill, but he's lost all his teammates. It's right now a 4 versus 1. Animate's over here that could possibly do this. Sinity's Eclipse though comes out. And he'll blink away the last second, about the tree protector minions are there. And it secures the kill onto him with JK blinking in to finish the job. That was Nature's Prophet minions. Anyways, a 5 for 1. They stole the Aegis. And that's what set the tone of that fight right there, no doubt. The buyback's happening on both Animation Axe, though. They jump onto Nature's Prophet, and the spins are coming out. He's going to throw him in the trees, though, but he's going to be chased down here most likely and will actually be killed. He does not have a buyback here. But Complexity wins that fight, no doubt.
Yeah, that was like the dream scenario. They get the Aegis. They didn't get the Roche kill, which is a little unfortunate. Some nice gold for EG, but Arteezy actually misclicking. Meant to click the OD and mana void him to do a lot of damage to the TA, but slightly misclicking and actually ulting the TA while she had almost full mana and refraction on. So the mana void doing almost 0 damage, no supports in the area either, so not really getting any collateral. And wasting that ult, the OD was able to force step over the cliff. A nice play from Justin. We got forced the Animage to blink up there, then got stranded, stunned, forced to buy it back, but does have the butterfly now. So even though that was a very good fight for Complexity, that was basically the dream fight. And as this Animage just have the butterfly now, is almost unkillable and in a very strong state.
Yeah, no, that's that mark of all right. Now he's the raid boss. Can we actually coordinate to kill him? And meanwhile, he has all his minions around him, being the other 4 players and what they're doing, of course. But yeah, there's the Abyssal Blade. You mentioned the butterfly in the works as well. So I'm going to cross the board. Been focusing a lot on Animage, but you got the Guild Scepter, of course, on a puck right here. Not much else on Axe other than a 4-staff and or Cobalt. He's just got he's just making it by with his items. Scythe though picked up by OD right here as a follow-up, a nice extra bit of lockdown to work with. Scythe makes sense to you?
Yeah, it's definitely an item you need to go on OD. You need some form of lockdown at this stage of the game where they don't really have that much reliable lockdown. They have the Lesh stun, but that's hardly reliable. They have arrow, and that's really about it as far as, you know, hard stuns go. So getting the Hex, another form of initiation, and maybe a way they can actually burst down this Animage before he tears everyone to shreds.
Meanwhile, how about that? Move pushes in the top ranged racks up here. I'm going to see Melee still good to go, but he's kind of keeping them on their toes. And the Hex actually does catch, I believe that's Kunkka. Turned into the little piggy right there in the background, though. Animage with that BKB, but now he blinks backward himself. Cancel. Gonna sit in that meld. In a dangerous spot for Staff, not controlling his character for the time being, but he'll be fine as he makes his way out. So nobody dies through that. Kunkka got very low. Able to make it back, though. And survive, but can they protect the siege this time? I mean, they've done so well the last 2 times. It feels like that they can, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's very hard for Complexity to push this, as well as very risky, because his TA doesn't have BKB, so if he gets Abyssal and just bursts it down, he can very easily die super quickly. Nice blink there.
Yeah, well played to get away from the Torrent combo. Animage taking a Scythe, but he'll be fine. And it's Complexity, again, it's almost a case of your Complexity, do they really want to try to force the issue, or maybe wait for yet another Roshan? But again, they don't necessarily have the advantage for Roshan. Granted, they got it last fight, but only to die right after, and that was because of a steal. So I do feel like, yeah, Complexity is kind of in that tough spot of, like, I guess it's almost, they really just have to wait for a pick. And be very patient, it feels like.
Yeah, Arteezy drawing a line down to the bottom line, so they want to push out these lanes, then immediately go smoke down to bottom, thinking Complexity will push these lanes out. Complexity actually sitting on a hill, looking for a fight here.
Oh, they jump in on Electric. Not the prime target necessarily. They do kill him quickly, but TA's the prime target, and he gets cutthroat right there with the coLink blade. OD also going to be picked off, so that smoke does wonders for EG. And here's that beeline that you're talking about. Both TA and OD have buybacks, and they do have a secondary tower to get through as well, but they're probably at least going to force buybacks here.
Yeah, it's sort of a classic maneuver. You push out the lanes, and then if this bot lane or one of the lanes is shoved in, somebody's got to go down there, so you immediately smoke down and you run to that lane. But Slono getting caught by his other teammates trying to save him. Both of the core is going down, so yeah, like you said, they are going to have to buy back because this top lane is exposed. Arteezy getting the top tower much early on whenever they did the whenever they took that initial Rax. So
Yeah.
Middle tower has
getting
fallen.
caught with their pants down a little bit, and EG definitely in a commanding position for now.
Well, Murata almost getting caught with her pants down, but she is able to leap away and will survive that. But here we go with the melee rack top. It's there, and okay, it's still there actually. Is fortification going to be used to delay what seems to be the inevitable? Are they going to follow this up? The Split Earth comes out with a stun. A little bit of damage. Puck, though, however, jumps in only to get stunned himself. And he is in trouble. Pops the phase shift. Yes, he will actually be able to make his escape. Not the same for Crit, though. Got caught with being a little too comfortable right there. So they do get the kill on an Oracle at least. Okay, and TA not having a buyback, though. So that's fairly critical. And neither did OD, actually. So in the end, I mean, losing the racks, it's obviously hurtful for complexity, but the fact that they didn't have any buybacks. How about this later? There's the Bloodthorn purchase on TA, by the way.
Yeah, I think this is necessary. I think an MKB maybe would have been better because this Bloodthorn is not very consistent versus the animation, the BKB and the Manta, so multiple ways to purge it, but he needs something that will let him actually be able to hit this animation, do some damage to, because as of now, Complexity has no way to really hurt this animation much. But buying that mini crit early on, sort of committing to the Daedalus, and now, funky position where he can't really insta-give this Oracle anymore either, because he has the Ghost Scepter, finally the position 84 crit, getting his first item, and the Kunkka with the Armlet as well, so cutting a fair amount of armor. So the TA is sort of in a rough position. This is one of the worst places you want to be as a TA.
Yeah. Sitting around our team here at the top lane. Okay, you see the gem here on a Mirana. So as far as vision goes, I'm going to guess, yeah, pretty much nothing here for EG other than way down here at the bottom in the jungle. Outside of their base, though, they are pretty much working with darkness, however. So they can have an idea that Complexity, again, keeps trying to work for that top tower in the top lane up there. Understandably so, having the tower already killed. Again, the melee racks, I guess, is what I'm getting at. Really the one that's the important target that they're trying to get. But they are going to kind of fall back here as a team. Yeah, it seems like maybe Roshan is going to be the next fight objective here yet again for both these teams. And I believe that's going to be Cheese as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
Roshan.
that should be the third Roshan. You're right about it being a huge point of contention. There we go, not congestion.
No.
Yeah, if EG does get that Aegis, then Complexity will have some serious troubles. They'll probably put it on this Axe, or maybe even the Animage, have him drop his boots or his BKB or something, and this Animage will essentially become immortal. And it's not that EG needs it so much, that Complexity needs it, and EG can just take it away from them because the Animage is just so strong right now, able to kill on his own any of the cores of Complexity. So they're really not great at split pushing right now, as the Animage can threaten them at any point if he's off the map.
Yeah.
They aren't sure where he is, so EG's definitely going to be looking to kill that, and like as you can see by their positioning, playing around this Roche area, trying to control it.
Oh, they're flanking though. Trap is out, going to be killed right there, but yeah, it's almost like they were ready to make a play right there. However, EG spreads out, falls back. They're going to be fine for now. Mirana invis used. Wears off shortly after, though. Guardian agrees on a Leshrac, a nice little item to have for the team of Complexity as well. Animate's got a charging in, going YOLO mode right here. They want to make a play. They do catch Leshrac out to the side. The BKBs are up, though. TA versus the Animate. Seems like Animate's winning the fight so far. Does finish off with a melt off to the side. Finally, though, TA, can he survive through this somehow? The Hex coming out on Animation. No, he cannot. TA just melts in the midst of that fight. Right there, Z-Freak as well, not trying to run on Murata, dealing with just an illusion in the background. Sanity's Eclipse was used. No kills just yet in favor of Complexity. They do get one though on Axe. Is it going to be a second? No, it's not. The Mana Void takes down OD, and Moo also gets picked off. Looks like the Murata able to make her escape on a 4-for-2 exchange. I mean, Animage, as you pointed out, he's just really at that unkillable, you can't do anything about him state.
Yeah, those couple of messed up fights, the top lane, some weird fights they took. This Animage was able to get up to some core items, especially that one where the TA dropped down. They lost the Aegis and the OD, lost both of their cores, and now they're really in a rough position. You can see that whole fight, TA trying to hit the Animage and only did 300 or 400 damage to him because the evasion and just the massive amounts of armor because of the Agi.
You know, TA just did not stand a chance, and that heads up like 1v1 clash that they were kind of going at in the middle right there. It was just very, very clear that Anti-Mage was going to win that, and that he did. So they really have to play the game now with where things are at and just lock him down. That's what that science, you know, definitely goes into play. OG, the imprisonment, it feels like, but it's obviously a lot easier said than done against him right here. And this is going to be a Roshan. I mean, they're running over. I don't think they're going to get here in time, though. And this is the one with the cheese as well. So, yeah, complexity, I think they're pretty... maybe, I guess it's not happening as fast as I thought it would be. No,
yeah, the Anti-Mage dropping his boots for the Aegis, so it looks like he's going to take the Aegis. Maybe give the cheese either the puck or the axe. Them some extra survivability and, you know, able to get off more spells in the fights. Like we said before, getting this Aegis on him, absolutely huge. The Anti-Mage is basically unkillable now. Complexity is sort of a position where the only thing they can do is really rats, as they have dangerous profits. The bottom is good at clearing waves with their Blink Aghanim Scepter, and the TA, pretty fast farmer as well, even at this stage. Because there's really no way they can take a 5v5 without getting a huge jump, with Arteezy making a massive mistake and just being really far alone, and the rest of the team coming in too late. Other than, you know, barring that, it's very hard for Complexity to take a fight.
Anti-Mage here pushing out that middle lane, so it's going to be a time where they're going to probably need support back and defend their base. You do see who's just up here backdoor, and it looks like TA may attempt to try to make a play, but yeah, port's already happening. The trees put around Anti-Mage, but it's like he doesn't even care that they're there. Takes a little bit extra damage. Again, though, has that Aegis. Puck jumped in. Okay, well, he's going to be safe for the time being with that shared fade. BKB in the background from Anti-Mage, but you don't want to go too deep here. In the background over here, you got TA now trying to do some work against the supporting cast. And Refraction taking that quite a bit, but as soon as it wears off, you just see Cancel melt right there. He somehow manages to escape at the split last second right there as Leshrac goes down. But the objective is completed, and Cancel was picked off when it was all said and done. He does not have a buyback, and that could be it in favor of EG now, as they are going to break through and secure their second set of racks right here. So again, trying to move on to the winner bracket finals against Complexity, and may have just done it.
Yeah, no buyback on the TA as well, so even harder for them to kill this Anti-Mage with almost no physical damage left, and Odie just getting shredded by... Zai actually has a Bloodthorn now, so keeping the Odie from astraling himself during these fights, taking away one of their only defensive mechanisms. Really nice pickup from him, and also guarantees the crit whenever he blinks in with the X.
Well, the Arteezy Anti-Mage lives up to his name this game, no doubt. Definitely hit to be successful, and he was up for the challenge yet again. He's going to pop that BKB as he goes right back in. He gets a nice little bash right there, but just simply going to go for the melee rack. Not dead just yet, though. They're doing a good job of kiting him quite a bit, and he has the Aegis, so even if he falls right here, which he is, will pop right back up. But now OD doesn't have a buyback. The Complexity really just playing to the end right here, knowing that this is it anyways for them, being game number 3, of course. See the trees put around the melee racks. Keep them up as long as possible. And Arteezy's like, all right, you're gonna block the racks. I'll go for hero kills instead. I'll kind of buff those stats of mine. It always look a little bit sexier, he says. So that'll be accomplished, and that now should actually do it here. Obviously, no GG's being called just yet, but I think GG's going to move on to the winner bracket finals. So.
Yeah, Arteezy with 38k net worth, double the next closest person. Really played very pristine this game, gave up no pickoffs throughout the entire game. I think only dying in one fight. Yeah, the fight by the Roshan, so never giving him a chance to pick him off, playing, you know, just as he should. And this is sort of Arteezy's game to lose at that point after he had gotten some of the core items and, you know, not giving anything away, playing really well.
You know, and that was the last pick Anti-Mage as well, remember. It's always fun to see, you know, kind of a hero like that being last pick and having such significant impact in the game.